Hello folks, it's Anahita Rao, and I wanted to speak about something a bit lighter today, more fun. I think we've been too serious recently because there's just so much going on, and we're all hearing all the sort of the negative news and the doom and gloom. So I thought, let me do a series of something a bit more fun, a bit more light, and I'm going to do this over the next few days, and I'll sort of post it one by one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through each nakshatra, all 27 of them, and I'm going to talk about compatibility for each of them. Yeah. We all know relationship compatibility is a very popular topic, and it's much more complex than just looking at the moon placement. But the moon placement, and more importantly the nakshatra placement of the moon, is the key to understanding compatibility. So first I'm going to just talk a little bit about what is a nakshatra for those who are new to Vedic astrology. The heart of Vedic astrology is in fact nakshatras. Originally Jyotish was focused on nakshatras only, which is the movement of the moon through the constellations, rather than the sign, which is the movement of the sun. Nakshatra is basically a fixed star constellation in the sky where the planets are transiting. I would describe it. I would describe nakshatras as the passive but potent force which need the planets to activate them. Yeah. So it's vital to note the nakshatra placement, as this will reveal the inner motivation and the attributes of the planets that reside there or transit there. In fact, the calculations and predictions in Vedic astrology are made from the vantage point of the moon transiting a specific nakshatra at the time of your birth. The controlling planet of the nakshatra must be seen for its impact, as well as the deity that rules the nakshatra, to assess the entire situation and to see what's going on. Okay, so back to the topic at hand. We're going to look at nakshatra compatibility and see your best match from your moon sign. If you don't know where your moon was situated when you were born, then you can go to the chart calculator on my website, which is there for free, and you plug in your details. It should pop up with your moon's nakshatra. Remember, this is the sidereal system, so it may place your moon in a different sign altogether from the tropical or the western placement. And for those who are watching all of the nakshatra videos, please note that this little intro will be repeated in all of the videos. Yeah, one more final thing I wanted to say about compatibility is that when it comes to looking for a match, this is just sort of a common sense thing, I guess, but it's very important. Please see goodness where it lies, rather than hoping for goodness where it does not exist. Yeah. We're all guilty of being with people that are not good to us or for us, in the hopes that they will be someday. So just don't get caught up in that illusion. Yeah. Astrology can, remember, astrology can only guide us, but we make the final call. Yeah. Okay, so let's get started with the nakshatra compatibility videos. Yeah. Okay, so now we are on to Jyeshtha. For Jyeshtha, your ideal partner is Magha, and your most challenging partner is Ardra. Jyeshtha and Ashwini, you're caught up in a spiritually complex relationship here. Ashwini has a cavalier attitude to your passions. which is exciting to begin with. But then, you also express yourself negatively, loving them, leaving them, emotionally messing them about. You need to love them on a spiritual level and let them be your let them into your spiritual search if you want the relationship to work. Jyeshtha and Bharani. Your relationship with Bharani can bring excessive sensuality as you try to fulfill your greatest desires. You are hypnotized by the Bharani allure, but you soon start to feel guilty about ignoring your spirituality. Let them know of your spiritual needs. They may not understand them, but will appreciate your openness. Jyeshtha and Krithika, you will feel invigorated by Krithika's warmth, their love, and their straightforward approach to life. They're strong, so you can never really manipulate them. But they try to adjust to your needs and to your demands. You feel secure and loved, and their love is a balm to your restless spirit. Good match. Jyeshtha and Rohini. Rohini stretches you mentally and emotionally. They're exciting, they're romantic, they're sensuous. You satisfy their love for luxury and their need to wallow in pleasures. Mentally exhilarating and emotionally satisfying, this relationship makes you feel complete. Another good one. Jyeshtha and Nakshatra. This one, maybe not so much. You constantly challenge Nakshatra as they usually rise to your provocation, making this a passionate relationship. You find their criticism and ability to rationalize everything very irritating, though. This usually stands in the way. They don't always understand your spiritual path. You can get along in the practical areas, though. Jyeshtha and Ardra. Not at all a good match. You bring out the worst in each other. You become dominant and aggressive, thinking you can deal with the aftermath, and they can act ferociously towards you. You can both easily press the self-destruct button. So be very careful. Keep your extreme behavior tightly under control. Jyeshtha and Punarvasu. The attraction you feel for Punarvasu is on the surface. They're not into complicated relationships, but you enjoy them. You find their inability to love you exclusively difficult to handle. You try to control them, to manipulate them. Punarvasu may then leave you without any consideration for your feelings. Jyeshtha and Pushya. You find Pushya too disciplined and rigid in their views. They're not into mind games, and they appear too aesthetic to be totally comfortable in your sensuous world. But give them a chance, and they may be your best friend. For this relationship to work, you need to make some compromises. Jyeshtha and Ashlisha. You both have to learn to look beyond the intellectual restrictions of your ruler Mercury and connect with a higher way of thinking. You understand each other's life path. Love and friendship hold you together. Ashlisha are not into complicated relationships, but with you they may take a risk. Jyeshtha and Magha, your best partner. They're everything you want: confident, dynamic, sexy, passionate, soulful, and loving. They envelop you in their warmth and bring security to your restless mind. You have often both suffered some poor relationships, and that becomes an added bond. Best of friends and happy lovers. So this is a good one. Jyeshtha and Purva Falguni. They endeavor to satisfy your senses in every way. They are creative, sophisticated, exciting. They cannot support you when you start moving away from sensual pleasures, though, to spiritual ones. Jyeshtha and Uttara Falguni. Here you have to stop playing mind games with them. You can make them feel emotionally unsettled by loving them passionately one moment and transferring your interests everywhere else the next moment. And you're also unable to appreciate their good qualities. Jyeshtha and Hastha. The sophisticated Hastha fascinates you, but you react too instinctively to their animal sign, which is the buffalo, which can be seen as rough and ugly. You may overlook all their good points and concentrate on their negative ones. You don't always understand emotions, and with Hastha you don't try. You can be too critical, reinforcing the poor self-image. Jyeshtha and Chitra. You can take an instant dislike to Chitra and argue incessantly, but there's a strong underlying attraction. You overcome your initial reaction to find passion and love. You will have to agree to disagree. Both of you have unresolved, complex spiritual issues, but this gives you an instinctive understanding of each other. Jyeshtha and Swati. Swati have a way with words which can be very exhilarating, and you feel you have found your true partner. Their ambitions take precedence over you. If you try to play mind games with them, they can give as good as they can get. They can be too possessive. Avoid creating turmoil within them. They can hurt you back regardless of the cost to your relationship. Jyeshtha and Vishaka. Love, sex, desire, philosophy, mysticism, and esoteric knowledge. All the things that interest you interest Vishaka as well. You both share the ability to enjoy sensuality, but know when to control your senses as well. Your relationship can be sensual heaven till the spiritual self calls. You both aspire towards spirituality and adjust your needs accordingly. So this is a good one. Jyeshtha and Anuradha. Anuradha loves you unconditionally, and you flourish under their love. They are also your best lovers and your best friends. They are supportive when you want to explore your spiritual self. They understand pain and asceticism, so they empathize with your inner turmoil. And they care for you emotionally, loving and soothing you. So this is a good one. Jyeshtha with another Jyeshtha. You're both at the same junction of life. You share sort of a subtle understanding of love. However, two Jyesthas I would not recommend together because it's a very fierce nakshatra. Jyeshtha has a complex spiritual remit, and together they can create some painful turmoil with each other, despite the great compatibility. Jyeshtha and Mula. Mula can teach you about rejection and love. You feel this rejection acutely, as you usually want to be in charge of your relationships. You're the one who plays the games. When the tables are turned, it creates huge emotional distress for you. So maybe not a good one here. Jyeshtha and Purvashada. Purvashada flexibility is hard for you to handle. You want them to concentrate fully on you, but their outside interests keep interfering. Your paths may be different, but appreciating them is a better basis for a relationship than forever fighting. So try to be friends first. Jyeshtha and Uttarashada. Your spiritual side relates to the austere and cool Uttarashada, but your sensuous one remains unfulfilled by their diffident approach to love. It's not a relationship with which you should experiment. If they lose trust in you, you will never be able to win them back. Jyeshtha and Shravan. Shravan appear to be like you, thinking and philosophizing about life. Love and the universe, but as you get closer you realize that there is a very important difference between you. You think and they feel. They can get very emotional and very sentimental, and you may not be able to understand this side of them. Jyeshtha and Dhanishta. You admire their courage and forbearance in dealing with life's challenges. This admiration translates into a strong and loving relationship. You will bask in their warmth. They teach you to face life's harsh realities with poise and grace. Jyeshtha and Shatabhishak. As Shatabhishak try to control their inner demons, you may not be willing to stand by. You understand their spiritual struggle more than they understand it themselves. This relationship works if you celebrate the compatible aspects, but try not to worry about the incompatible ones. So don't try to control them and allow them to have their own space. Jyeshtha and Purva Bhadrapada. You show them a new world where they can become bewitched and enchanted, and you use the words of love without meaning to, weaving a web of illusions. You can feel disdainful when they give in to you so easily. And be careful. This is not just them that is getting hurt. You can pay a heavy price emotionally and spiritually as well. Jyeshtha and Uttara Bhadrapada. They can teach you about discipline. The bonds between you are not those on which a relationship develops initially. They have no time for sensuality and are good at controlling their senses. In fact, you can learn from them. Their ascetic nature does not always please you, but their ability to love you for who you are does. Jyeshtha and Revathi. You're similar, but with different agendas. You want to explore sensuality, and Revathi you want to explore love. You can get along, even love each other, but both of you have the tendency to be super critical. When you put your relationship under the microscope, many things are perfect. Many things are less perfect. And then you can tend to blame the other. So be watchful for that.